Well, everyone's vocal is different, but on Charli, and this is the vocal chain on my end because I tracked it in this project. I mean, even the frickin' comp is in. Oh no, this is probably just timing stuff. Yeah. Is there a vocal session? No, this is it. I tracked it in the session. That's right. Okay, so the only thing on the vocal pre. Okay, let's just bypass everything on the master guy. Oh my god, that reduction. Oh, I'm automating. Okay. This is kind of interesting. If you notice, here's the interesting thing about this vocal. Move me, yeah. Like, let's listen to what this sounds like if I don't automate the reduction. Move me, yeah. It's something about the way you save my life. So, like, you see my reduction here? Here, let's zoom in so everybody can see this shit. Wait, how to do it? 2 tracks. Too much. Too much. There we go. And we're over here. Yeah, green is a nice, or whatever that is. Greenish, whatever. Mint. I use the reduction, the peak reduction on the compressor like crazy as a control of the dynamic of the vocal. Like there's huge moments where, and this is like, right here, this is the hold my body tight part. Probably. The way you hold my body tight. I mean, listen to the difference in volume without automating the reduction. The way you hold my body tight, even on my lowest night, locked down by my side, even when I'm borderline. Like I change like the volume of specific words to so they don't hit the compressor as hard, you know. Like it's, but anyways, I'm using the reduction. So look, I'm gonna turn the automation back on for the reduction. So the reduction goes away, which means it's being compressed less. So if I had left the volume of the lead the same, it would have sounded like this. Something about the way you hold my body tight, even on my lowest night, locked down by my side. That's just the peak reduction automation, but combined with lowering the volume of the lead group, which is actually just this vocal. Something about the way you hold my body tight, even on my lowest night, locked down. It's controlling the, you know, it's controlling the vocal like by not just lowering the volume of it, changing how compressed it is too. Something about the way you hold my body tight, even on my lowest night, locked down by my side. Like it's a great trick for like when a vocal's by itself, like, you know, I wanted that moment to sound completely naked, you know, like you've been hearing this luscious vocal treatment and all this reverb and this space, and then all of a sudden you're in a room with Charli and she's like fucking telling you her story, like she's right in front of you, you know, and then you're back in that world. Something about the way you hold my body tight, even on my lowest night, locked down by my side. Fucking moment. Okay, so let's go through the chain, which I didn't even have on, and it still sounds fine. It's something about the way you say. I don't want to say it, but Cubase, you've been really... Oh, it's 420. Cubase, you've been really good. I'm like, control save, Apple save. All right, first things first, Squasher. It's something about the way you say. This is like the grown man's OTT. It's something about the way you save my life. It's not doing shit. I don't even know why that's on there, to be honest with you. It's not doing shit. All right, maybe onto something that is doing something. A mostly dry SSL bus compressor. Notice the dry wet, because it's like super heavily compressed. It's a little parallel compression for you. This is one of the only compressors. I mean, Squasher actually does it too, but sometimes you get phase stuff with that shit. Soothe 2. Yeah, the 1K to I guess 8. A lot of thrash in the vocal. Like I'm taking out a lot of this stuff. just makes the loud parts smoother to the ear. Soothe is the best. And I've been actually learning, like, I the more I use Soothe, the more I understand the difference between, like, I'm really understanding the difference between the algorithms of soft and hard. Like, usually I would use soft and, like, crank it, but then when I use hard and, like, use subtly, like, it reacts differently, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Soothe is the best. Anyways, controlling a lot of that E harsh guys. After Soothe, let's get the somethings. Oh, is so you can hear the reduction. Or here's the reduction right here. By the way, this button shows you what it's affecting, or lets you hear. With the see the little green blobs. Can we give it up for Fabfilter for making the most incredible fucking plugins ever made? The best fucking interfaces ever made. The most intuitive, most efficient CPU. That's just get emotional. It's just fucking good programming. Great sound too. It's just so great how you can see the parts that are getting de-essed in the green. Anyway, sorry. Oh, and then Gem Dopamine. This is an incredible plugin, and I would argue that it's worth, I think it's like $50. I don't quote me on that. I don't know what it, but it's, here you can hear the difference. So basically, the guy that made this plugin, and I'm going to totally butcher this story. The guy that made the plugin was seeking to recreate, in the old days, they used to, when they would transfer music to tape, you would lose a lot of high end. So they would, like, do this thing to boost the high end going back onto the tape or something like that, or basically to compensate somehow. And this is that. So, like, after I soothe, after I de-ess, and the placement of these plugins is important too, after I de-ess, so after I've cut some low end out, or some sibilants out, Gem Dopamine helps give a little bit of shine back to it. Here's the difference. Hear this. Versus. It's not. Fuck, let me change the level so maybe I can get it. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Versus. Like a little bit of the body goes away. Like this, I'm not sure if this compresses the whole signal or just the wet signal, but it's really, it adds like air. I don't remember what this was at. Undo. There we go. Okay. Anyways, Gem Dopamine, and then last but not least, Pultec Pro, which is actually, I think, just cutting a little bit of 30 hertz, which is not really anything. I don't even hear a difference. That's not doing anything. Probably the most important thing it's doing is boosting 16K. So, I mean, I guess this is actually something I do a lot. You start to get into really fun territory. And mind you, this is another realization I had that I almost got precious about. Like, de-essing is a fucking art form, and I've been obsessed with it forever. But, like, sometimes this vocal is pretty heavily de-essed. And then adding, dopamine, Gem Dopamine after, and boosting that signal then, like, you get sibilants back without the sibilants, So, like, the point of what I'm saying is post de-essing, boosting your highs by some manner, whether it's with an EQ or like boosting the air back. Like, you can start getting these vocals that are loud and have high end, but aren't annoying to the ear. It's really, really, like, de-essing is such a fucking, you can get lost in that shit for days. Yeah, I use the Fabfilter EQ a lot. All right, is there anything